back to another episode of Path to Peace. Thank you for joining in. Thanks for coming, Jake.
Pleasure to be here.
Fuck yeah, let's get this going. Give people a bit of an idea about yourself. Obviously, you're at uni and play footy.
Failed uni about 3 times now.
That's all right. We all do it.
Yeah, gave it a few shots and no good.
That's
So
all right.
working full time, started a full time job, and it's been hectic as.
Yeah.
So I'm about 4 months in. I think I worked probably 70 hours at least last week. It was just crazy.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Wait, where at?
I work for like 4 different companies under the same role.
Yeah.
So like the guy who's the managing director, like he owns all 4 companies. So it's Classic Sports, which do like 6 NRL teams, like players, everything, merchandise.
Yeah.
Then there's Dino Uniforms, which does like corporate side of it.
Yeah.
AMS, which deals directly with pretty much the transport for New South Wales government.
Fuck.
So met a couple of big dogs already.
Yeah.
Met a few NRL players, and then what's the other one? CSM, which is like local footy, soccer, the
Jeez.
NRL ref. So yeah, it's pretty full on.
It shows how long since I spoke to you. I didn't even know. Holy shit. That's good though.
Yeah.
That's get your foot in the door somewhere as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And obviously you play footy.
The AFL.
Fuck yeah.
Known to dabble a little bit.
Yeah. Right. And I guess for context of people even watching, like we met through AFL. We played at Miranda Bombers.
Yeah,
Was
it was
it?
under 15s.
Under 15s.
Yeah, the dream team, Cronulla, Miranda.
Yeah, fucking hell. We went. Actually, no, we came second.
We lost the grand final.
Yeah, we came second. Yeah, I won't take it. But and now like we play together at St. George. Obviously, I've interviewed a couple of boys who are from St. George, Harry Parker and Finn Ritchie, and
Jeez, Finn Ritchie, what a man.
oh fuck, you see his Lad
Yeah,
Bible thing?
yeah.
If you haven't seen, fucking go on Lad Bible Sports and Finn Ritchie, who obviously I interviewed in season 1. He does a nice little interview with Lad Bible about his
Grand final heroics.
Fucking hell. I didn't even know about the vomiting. I thought he was lying, but no.
It was punch of lung 6 weeks before the grand final, comes back and kicks a winning goal. Jeez.
Fucking amazing, inspirational. Watch it on Facebook as well. We go crazy.
Yeah.
So what brings you here? What's that main thing that's been troubling like recently, or it's been a common theme that you want to chat about?
Yeah. So over the years, probably like everyone, you get a few ups and downs, but sometimes the downs are, they go for too long, and then you sort of think, something might be a bit more of an issue than you think it is.
Yeah.
And so it took me a while to first realise that, and like really actually put some thought into it. Like, so just an overview, suffered from insomnia since about the age of 12. So all throughout pretty much high school, every night, I reckon I'd be lucky to get 3 hours sleep. And doing your HSC on 3 hours sleep, it's stressful enough as it is, and doesn't go too well.
Jeez,
that much. And through that, the depression started. Doctors, psychologists, they reckon it's related, but one could cause the other. Vice versa, you just don't know the cause. And then with insomnia, they offered for me to go on sleeping tablets, but I think I was first 17, 18 when I spoke to a doctor about it. And I was like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, just warning you, it's highly addictive. You won't be able to sleep without them if you start at this age. I was like, yeah, maybe not. So I kind of decided then to try and put up with it. Well, not put up with it, but try and find other ways than just, relying on something like that. And then probably over the past year, anxiety, something I've never known before. Could walk into any room and I'd be confident, wouldn't be thinking about anything, go hang out with friends, not a worry in the world. And over the past year, you hang out with mates that you've known for years and years, you're like, what are they going to think of this? Or what are they going to think if I do this? If I wear this?
No.
Even at work, working at the Prince, shout out, 49% off, 46.
49%?
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, we did it, same,
Get around work, doing more work.
Yeah.
Free publicity. Yeah, what was I saying?
Before you.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
work. Like I'd go into work and I'd do things I'd done a million times before. Knew it was right. Knew everything I was doing was like spot on. And I just feel like, shit. Like someone sees this, am I doing it right? Like, what are people thinking if I'm doing this? And like I just drive myself crazy. Like there was one time I had like a mad breakdown just at work. Straight up. Someone asked me like, they saw I was like upset or like wasn't myself. No, you alright? And I just started bawling my eyes out at work. Yeah, might need to go do something about this.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a point of anxiety, but yeah.
Right. And with the like anxiety, I guess, like have you like taken steps to like go see someone about it?
Yeah, so I've been on 3 different kinds of antidepressants. So the one I'm on currently, Prozac, same as Jeffrey Dahmer, so.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I don't know how people will react to that.
Big shoes to fill.
Yeah, well, let me go off it for a bit and see what happens.
Hey, no pressure, bro. He had a good kill to death ratio.
Yeah.
I should not be making those type of jokes on this type of podcast. But yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, big shoes. Very big shoes.
Right.
Bro was built as well. So maybe it's a dream. Maybe I'll just go on.
Well,
definitely have a killer
it's
instinct.
a yeah, you fucking do, eh? Yeah, shit. I guess I'll start with sleep stuff, because that's something where it is like directly linked with your stress and like the fact that you're only getting like 3 hours over like your developmental years as well is I mean, you've done well. I tell you, you've done well for yourself. I give you that, man. Like you've been able to show up every day.
It's definitely been a lot more growth after school rather than during school. Like it took me a few years to get to everyone else's level.
Yeah. Oh yeah, school just KJ.
No, hated it.
Yeah,
hated it.
Yeah. Right, and especially that anxiety and that overthinking. And fuck yeah, I definitely relate to you with that. Like outfits and shit like that. Like fuck, what if I wear this? What if I wear that? It's like it's, you know, it's silly.
Yeah.
But like it's hard to distinguish that. What's kind of gone into helping that you've found? Because it's so hard to get out of it because you're constantly thinking about it. And if you're constantly thinking about it, it's like anxiety on anxiety. It's a fucking
it's just a big
paradox.
spiral.
Yeah. So what's, I guess, helped? You know.
Well, I'm still trying to work out something. Like sometimes I'll just, you know, the gym, that's been huge for me.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you don't have to be the biggest person. Like, you don't have to be one of those massive bodybuilders. Like, if you enjoy going to the gym and that helps you out, like, it doesn't matter what you look like.
Yeah.
Just go have a go, and it changes me. Like, if I feel sad or depressed or anxious, go to the gym, do what I know, go to a different level. Like, I completely forget about what's happened.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, and then footy was good and bad.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes, like, I'd be at training and I'd be like, same thing, like, what are these guys thinking of me? Like, and like, all it takes is someone to say something that can be interpreted one or two ways. And like, you're just like, did it mean like this? Did it mean like that? It's obviously harmless.
Yeah.
But you just can't help it.
Yeah.
So that didn't help.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That's yeah. Holy shit. And I guarantee you, I mean, you know that people aren't obviously like thinking about those things, and fuck, everyone loves you anyway. Like,
it's the worst part. Like, you know, I don't mean it like that, but you can't help it. Like, well, this person must hate me.
Yeah. And then you take everything like the completely, like the wrong way.
Yeah.
Fuck. It's good. It's a shit way. It's a shit thing. But like, I will say, at least just from a place of advice, like the more I expose myself, because you're a social guy anyway, but like the more I expose myself to situations where I feel like, oh, they're thinking this about me, thinking that about me, over time, you build that like proof within yourself, like no, like they're not thinking that about me because they haven't said anything over the past year or whatever it might be. But yeah, I know that doesn't solve it. Like it's it's fucked. It's shit. But yeah, and then I guess particularly with the bouts of depression, has it come with anything like externally that's happened, or is it more you kind of feel it's like within?
Yeah, so at the moment I'm renting with my roommate.
Yeah.
And man, I wanted to move out from like 15 years old onwards. Like home just wasn't the place to be.
Yeah.
You struggle enough like with not sleeping. Like you go to school, you struggle there, you go home and all I got was like just yelling non-stop, or like there was literally physical, like emotional abuse like non-stop. It was like, yeah, really stunted growth throughout that period, like probably a fair few years behind everyone. That's why. And yeah, I just found it really hard, like go to school, hate it there, go home, hate it there, like you're just trapped.
Yeah.
And then yeah, finally I was in a position, was I 19 or 20, that I could actually afford to move out. Like, yeah, and then got out of there. Yeah, wasn't a good spot to be.
Yeah, I mean, at least you got out.
Yeah.
At least do you feel a bit better now that you're out? Like,
I feel different, yeah.
Yeah.
That first week I moved out, I was like, holy shit, like this is what life is actually like. I can't believe this. This is how other people live, like.
Yeah.
And yeah, like obviously it doesn't solve everything. Like the depression and anxiety, you told me, it's still there, it's still playing a part in the background, but you know, instead of having it every single day, it turns to every second day, or every third day. And then just before you know it, you might go a week or two feeling completely fine. But then again, you might have a week of feeling pretty bad. But it's definitely getting better.
Yeah, that's good. And you're so young, you don't know what to do in that situation. And like,
yeah.
Just you getting out is like the only thing you could do, really. Like, good on you. Like, that's, did you ever talk to any mates about any stuff that was like going on?
Yeah, here and there. Yeah, it's funny you bring that up because I was trying to think about that before. Something I've really struggled with is like when I've needed help and I've reached out to people, like they think you're joking or like they just don't take it seriously.
Really?
And like people, like, I'm mind blank again.
That's alright. They don't take it seriously, they don't.
Yeah, or like if they see like you're being a bit short with everyone or like not speaking too much, they take it personally. Like they have a go at you, like, oh, why are you like this? Like, why are you like that? You just hate me. Like, and then, like, I'm fine with people thinking that because I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's when I tell them and then they're like, oh, but why can't you just speak?
Yeah.
Like, why can't you just do this? Why do you have to be like that? And then, yeah, that ruins a few things for me. Like, once someone does like that, like they don't help you when you need help, especially if I've reached out to them, they know my background, like I've spoken about it with them before. And yeah, that's happened way too many times with people you think are your close mates, or good friends, and you know, you need help, you do what you need to do, you reach out and you just get shut down and
fuck.
Doesn't feel too good.
No. You're a fucking warrior, seriously. It's like truly, like your resilience to just fucking push through.
You just gotta keep moving.
The stuff that is externally happening, it's fucking with you, and you're still just boom, like keep it moving.
Yeah.
Like, it's a good lesson, by the way. I mean, and it's good that you like looking to like seek help and even just coming on here, like that's very brave. But just the persistence of just, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
But just pushing through it. That just shows a lot about like your character. Like even, Maddie, like, no, I won't go too deep. Don't worry, Maddie. But like, just things that she's been through and just continue to show up and show up and show up. Like, that's the people that inspire me, and I just know inspire a lot of people. Like, I know that eventually you'll be able to get on top of these things, and then you'll realize it kind of, it makes sense, or I guess. But I guess with your mates, and then when you would say So like no one was able really to reciprocate things in a professional way. Not even like, really.
Yeah, so like the people that did kind of understand, like you also felt like you couldn't lean on them too often because they have their own stuff going on. Like, whereas like I can separate my stuff from everyone else's stuff. So if someone came at me like every day, like telling me how they felt, and like whether it's good, bad, like I could take that on. Like I can separate that. But if I feel like I can't do the same to other people. So like if I reach out to someone once and they're great help, like to pull me out of it, I feel like I can't really go back to them again because they're just gonna like burn out themselves.
Right. Yeah.
And it's something I've spoken about with them as well.
Yeah.
And I haven't specifically said that to them, but like I've worked with conversation. They'll say that about other people. Like they'll say, "Oh, this person keeps like putting their problems on me," so then it makes me feel like I can't go back to them. So yeah.
It's unfortunately people like take the weight of someone else's problems as their own, and like that's like people unfortunately they need to realize it's not about them. It's just about sitting there and listening. Yeah. Because like no one has like the answers. Like no one has every answer. Like sometimes I'm sure you just want to be like heard by someone. Yeah. And like that's fine. Yeah. Like you don't even need to have everything. Like do you want a solution or you just want to be listened to? And like, most of the time it's just listen to. Yeah. Like I remember when even what was this like 2020 like halfway through. Actually, as I started part of the piece, I was like freaking out about all sorts of different things, and then I thought it was irrational to just, and then I would confide in someone about it, and then like one of them was a bit like didn't really know what to do, similar to in that situation, and one of them was like just listening and not interjecting and not just sitting there, just being there. You know, it's not just you talking to yourself, you're fleshing things out, which is healthier. That's ridiculous. That shouldn't happen. Well, I'm here. I'm always come on. Particularly with AFL, like what did the anxiety like seep into there, and particularly about how you're performing and stuff like that? Was there any like
so was it 2019? That was the last good year we had, wasn't it?
Good year.
Well,
before
COVID.
Before COVID, 2019. Yeah, 2019.
Yeah, so it was a great year. It was my first year of under 19 as a proper 19-year-old. Yeah. Managed to become captain of the team. Took them to the finals. Managed to win a league BNF, which I'm pretty stoked about.
Fuck yeah, I didn't know this.
2-time league BNF.
2-time?
You're in the presence of royalty.
Oh. God damn. Alright.
No,
keep going.
It doesn't
No,
count.
No, it does count, shut up.
And was it that off season, trained the house down. Like I was on fire. I was the fittest I've ever been. Like got my body scan done. I was under 6% body fat. Like I was running 3-minute 30Ks for 7K. Like I was on another level.
That's the ideal.
Yeah, all fueled by that last season. And I was like, I want to go better. I don't want to make finals. I want to win it. Yeah. And then I was like, I want to go back to back. And then, going the next season, COVID starts happening. Put on a little bit of weight, as you do. Yeah. I'm sure everyone did in COVID.
So
everything started getting a bit worse. Instead of being 78 kilos like I was leading into the season, ended up being 89. So 11 kilos.
Decent,
yeah. It's a big difference.
Yeah.
And then, it took me a few weeks to get back to it. Played all right. Managed to win the comp that year. Managed to go back to back. I don't know how. League BNF, and
let's go.
It was halfway through that season. Oh, actually, no, it was before that. It was probably the first couple of weeks of lockdown that I started getting depressants for the first time. Yeah. And it's called metazapine, and that was mainly to help with sleep. The problem was all I wanted to do was sleep. So I'd literally just crash every night. I'd sleep for 13 hours, wake up still tired.
Fuck.
And then that went on for about probably over a year, just because I was like, oh, you know, that's what they're meant to do. I had no idea about it. Like, I was so naive. I didn't do any research because I was scared of it, scared of what I was going to find, really. And then, that helped put on weight.
Yeah.
Sleep too much, you got no energy, all you have to do is put on weight. And then, came back for the next season after being on those. Man, I couldn't do half the stuff I thought I could. Like, I couldn't lose the weight either. Because all I was doing was sleeping, eating, working. And just my attitude towards training, I just didn't want to be there, didn't want to play, didn't want to do anything except go lay in bed.
Yeah.
And then, that season was all right. Like, I managed to force myself to get a bit fitter. And then we had a little bit of a break, started, and then straight back into lockdown.
Yeah.
I started feeling pretty down again. Went to a different doctor this time. And sort of explained what had been going on. And they're like, why the fuck are you on those? Like, this is what we prescribe to 60 plus year olds. Like,
what?
You never put an 18-year-old on them, 19-year-old on them. I was like, yo, what?
What did you tell them you was prescribed by some other doctor?
Yeah. And they're like,
what a fucker.
Yeah. And I was like, pretty taken aback. I was like, it took me probably like 5 years to muster up the courage to go to the doctor in the first place. And you start figuring out by putting me on these ones that are doing the opposite of what I need them to.
Fuck.
Yeah, and then, I was literally like, just so naive to it. I was like, oh, I'm meant to feel like this.
Yeah.
Meant to, sleep all the time. That's what they do. I just managed to convince myself of that, even though I was feeling 10 times worse than before. And went on to these other ones, Lexapro, which is pretty common now.
Yeah.
And, it's like a whole new world.
Yeah.
Like, completely changed. And then I was on those for 9 months or so.
Right.
And, like, man, you feel so much different. Like, I could sleep properly. Or, when I say properly, 6 hours is double sleep. Like, I felt like a different person.
Yeah.
And then, then I was like, they're probably still not doing as much as they should be. Like, everyone who else has been taking them and saying how good they are. Like, I'm not at that level. So I decided to try Prozac. And, the sleep's worse, but the mood throughout the day is like a million times better.
More stable?
I've got energy, I've got motivation. Like, I don't want to just lay down all day anymore. Like, I want to be up, I want to get going. Like, and that's sort of what's getting me across the line, try and play footy and try and go to the gym more, running. Like, if I was on the other stuff, I'd just be in bed all day still.
Yeah, right. Fuck. Man, what's that like? I guess because I have my days where I'm just like, I just want to fucking stay inside. Don't want to do anything. Like, what type of? I imagine the thoughts as you're just kind of in bed and sleeping, and then going in and out of sleep, and then just going sleep to work, home, or gym or whatever. How are your thoughts during that time? I imagine it's not a healthy mind place.
Probably the worst thing to be doing is, my sort of mantra at the moment is just keep moving, because once you stop, that's when the thoughts come back.
Right, yeah.
And then, so it's like I kind of avoid them, try and escape them rather than sit down and deal with them, which is not the best, but it's working at the moment, and until it stops working, then I'll deal with it then. Yeah. But there are those times that you're like, man, why am I thinking this way? Like, if you ever said anything you thought out loud, like, someone would be like, go to hospital right now, or like,
yeah. It's okay though, like you'll find your way, I'm finding my way, we're all finding our way. Do you, have you been recommended anything else by the doctors, or did they just kind of say let's get some medication?
Yeah, so it was two options I was originally given was see a psychologist or start medication. And then like at the start I was like, oh, I struggled to talk to a doctor about it. How am I going to talk to anyone else about it? So just medication. Let's just go with that.
Yeah.
First two lots didn't work, so I was like, oh, you know what, I'll probably, like I've grown a lot more, like everyone else is like even seeing your stuff on Facebook, I was like, oh, it's actually not too bad talking about it.
Oh yeah, of course.
And like,
that's good.
Dylan Friend's podcast, man, that's been a game changer. Like just how open he is. And then, so then I was like, oh, you know what, I don't mind talking about it anymore. So I see a psychologist, went to a psychologist. I was like, man, you haven't told me anything I didn't already know. Like, you haven't offered me anything. Like, So I was pretty off it.
Okay.
Didn't go back. And then started Prozac around that time. And then probably a month after that, I was like, oh, you know what? If I feel like this with it, imagine how much better I can feel with seeing psychologists as well. Went to the psychologist 6 times. So
Same shit.
Yeah, did not learn a single thing. Didn't, like, all she said was pretty much it is what it is.
Really?
Yeah.
That was the
main takeaway. I was like, man, I paid you $180 a session.
Yeah, fucking hell. Yeah, you think you get some sort of like action plan or you know, here's something we can add to the day to regulate the anxiety.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It's like,
get that on Facebook.
Yeah, that's for free, bro. That's free therapy.
Yeah.
Fuck. I don't like that. Hopefully whoever that is learns.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even because I know like talk therapy is still good. There's nothing wrong with it, but it can feel like a bit intimidating. Like, was it intimidating or was it more just like you weren't really diving deeper into the issues?
Yeah, it's probably just like we weren't diving deep enough. Like, I explained, like I'd say some certain situations and then she'd be like, okay, thanks for sharing, and then she'd just move on. It's like, oh, I'm going to talk about what I just said. Like, that's probably like one of the causes of why I feel this way. And then like, she didn't focus on the past or like anything that happened. She was trying to like move into the future and like things to try and deal with it. But no, just not it.
Even so, like socially, I've always known you as like outgoing and a bit of a not class clown, but just like you just fucking take the piss out of everything, which is good. I like it.
Bit of silly goose.
Bit of a silly goose, yeah. Is it something where have you always kind of had that personality about you, or is it something that you've kind of not always? No.
Whole time during school, primary school, high school. Well, primary school was a bit better. Like I was decently outgoing, but high school, man, barely spoke to anyone. Like, so scared of social situations. Like, just didn't want to be around anyone. Like, if I had to go to a party, like, I remember there was one time when I was 16, like everyone started drinking Skull bottle whiskey just because, like, I was like, man, if I do this, people might think I'm cool and like I might actually fit in here, because I never felt like I fit in at school. It's that group, I was like, guys, girls, like, couldn't like start a conversation with any of them, except for like a few close mates, like. And as soon as I reckon it was probably like 18, 19. As soon as I started drinking, going out, I was like, kind of like when you escape it through drinking, it's not the best thing to do, but kind of like, oh, if I'm like this when I'm drunk, why not act like this when I'm sober? Like, if I'm drunk and happy, sure, if I act the same way, I'll be sober and happy. So it doesn't work the way you think it will. But it did actually help me like being more open, being more of myself. And I kind of found a balance now.
Okay.
Like where I can, take things to a joke level without pushing it too far, but still learn the barrier.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah, no, don't worry, I don't think you'll be cancelled anytime soon.
Be surprised. I got some.
I'll put in the encore. Any
any
fucked up, any fucked up jokes out. Yeah, right. Because, and that was, I was going to ask that, like, yeah, that, does it still, even though like you put it on a bit, like, does it still feel authentic when do you feel like you're being yourself when you're being outgoing and having a joke, having a laugh?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but if it's weird, like with the anxiety, like if someone doesn't laugh at a joke I make, or like they don't like look like they're enjoying themselves, like I'll just go back into my shell.
Yeah.
Then I'll just be scared to talk again. Or like if someone makes fun of me for saying something, I'll just go back into my shell. Like I won't keep going with it. But if someone like cracks a smile, has a laugh, like I'll keep going like until night ends, day ends, whatever.
Yeah. So just go with what works and just,
yeah.
And you're very observant, obviously, so you want to,
yeah.
So you take note.
Over observant.
Yeah, over observant. Hey, yeah. Fuck. Have you? I say the word flow, and it's in relation to like being just genuinely in the moment, present and happy, without any external things messing with you. I guess in the last couple of years, I'll say, because of COVID and everything, and finishing high school, has there been times where you've like been in a state of flow? I say, so being in like that real presence and joy. Yeah.
I'll go back to the gym. Like I remember I think I was training back.
Yeah.
And I was just sitting there. Like, I was like, man, in this moment, I'm happy. Like,
right.
I'm enjoying myself. I'm doing what I love. Like I feel good.
Yeah.
And I sent a message to all my mates, like who know about everything. I was like in this moment, I'm happy. Everyone was like so supportive and like getting around me like, oh man, seeing you happy makes me happy. And I was like, I just felt good for the next couple of days.
Yeah.
And then everything came crashing back down as it always does. But you know, those few days, man, it's enough to make you like keep hope.
Yeah.
Make you keep going.
Yeah, that's good. That's the attitude to have. I'm curious, like do you remember like what went into that day? Like how was like your sleep before then, and what was the day looking like? What were you doing on the day?
There's a lot of caffeine.
Right, yeah. That's cool. That's fine, bro.
No, I think I slept pretty well.
Yeah.
Which always helps. Sleeping well makes a huge difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just woke up, I had my pre-workout, got to the gym, it's like just thriving, had work later, got to work, continued on, like, and then I think I went to training or something after.
Yeah.
And I was stoked with the day. Like so simple, but I was stoked.
Yeah, good. And that's all it was. It came from a good sleep. It came from you getting up and doing something you enjoy, and like stimulating yourself. Obviously, the pre-workout.
Yeah.
But that's there's nothing wrong with that. And then getting some work time. And I think that like you being able to connect with people at work, whether you think it's like good or not, because sometimes you deal with dickheads. That boosts your mood, and then you're able to hang out at training, have fun, work on your game, all that shit. That all like contributes to it. Now, is it something where you've look at days like that and you're like, obviously you want to have days like that every day, right?
Yeah.
But do you look at that and be like, okay, I'll try to emulate that as much as possible?
Yeah. So I found that when I go to the gym or do exercise in the morning before I start my day, like work day, days are completely different. So like that little win in that morning is enough to get you through the day. Might not be enough to get you through the week, or you might still feel pretty bad the next day or the day after, but I know if I do that, I'm going to feel good more times than I won't.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much the plan, how it goes.
Good. That's great. That's great to know exactly what starts, what helps to start the day.
Starts at the start.
Start, baby.
Team group, get on you.
Team group, yeah, fuck. Yeah, I mean, and so as you kind of like battle through the days, or as you've had battled through the days, like has there been like periods where you've thought of like suicide or any like self-harm that's come into your headspace?
take you back to a night. I think I was still in high school. No, it was just after I finished high school.
Yeah.
Before, I think I just started the antidepressants as well. So for those who don't know about antidepressants, it gets worse. It gets much worse before it gets better. So that first 2-3 weeks is hell.
Yeah.
And
you go. Yeah. I'm just the audio engineer here, so yeah.
Yeah, so I was working 2 jobs at the time. So I work at a warehouse and then I work at a bar at night. So I work 7:30 to 4:30, then pretty much 5:30 to 11:30. So full on days, do that, 4 or 5 days of the week, and then I'd still be working on weekends. So it was pretty full on, like wasn't training, wasn't going to the gym, wasn't doing much. And I just remember getting home from work, like just past midnight, have a shower, get into bed, like do it every night, nothing's changed. And my heart just started racing. Like I'm having a heart attack here. Like my heart's beating through my chest. Like I'm in so much pain. And then these thoughts just came in my head. Like it was like something possessed me. It was crazy. And this voice in my head was like, just kill yourself. Just fucking kill yourself. Just screaming it over and over. And like I'm like trying to focus on chest pain, like the head, like the voice. It's crazy. And then like I had no control of myself, so like my body's like shaking. Like I was literally seeing out of a scary movie. Like it was ridiculous. And yeah, it probably lasted 30 seconds, but it felt like it lasted months. Like it was just a state of like complete, paranoia. Yeah, just that voice, like it still haunts me to this day. Like it was such a distinct voice, so loud, so like, yeah, it's crazy. And yeah, I reckon if it went for 30 more seconds, that would have been it. Like, that was big moment. Went to the doctor the next day, like called in sick. I was like, no, I can't do this. I have to go to the doctor, that is. And the doctor was like, yeah, that's not right. I was like, no shit.
Fuck me. Doctors and psychologists are getting fucking torn apart this episode. Fuck.
Don't go to uni, just go on Facebook.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah,
oh my god, jeez.
It's like we can put you on beta adrenaline, which is like a blocker thing, like to help you snap out. But if it was only going to last 30 seconds, it'd take 5 minutes for the thing to kick in anyway. So I was like, it's pretty pointless. So I should say, leading up to it, like there were some telltale signs, and now I know, like if I see those signs again, like I just focus on myself. Like, so the sign was like, I'd just be in the car, I'd be alone, like I'd just be thinking, dangerous thinking, absolutely horrendous.
Oh yeah, doesn't get you.
Yeah, no way. Don't know how Einstein did it. And I'd just like open my mouth and scream with no sound. Like if that voice in my head would just be screaming, my mouth would be open as if I was screaming, like no control over it. Like I have no idea what happened, like what causes it. And like a probably 3-week period, like it happened. I was like, man, that's strange. That's not happened before. Happened again a couple of days later. Yeah, this probably isn't right, but oh well. I'm not making any sounds, like I'm not disturbing anyone, like just put up with it. Happened again, and it started happening every day, twice a day, 3 times a day. Then eventually it just kept going and going, and then that night happened, and yeah. So every time I like get to that point again, like where like I scream with no sound, I'm like, nah, this isn't right. Like I take a day off, like try and focus on sleep, try and focus on eating, try and focus on the gym, like just pull myself out of that, because I know if I let myself go down that rabbit hole again, it's not gonna end well.
Fuck. Thank you for sharing, dude. That's that's huge.
Pretty whack.
It's like, wow. I don't think like, jeez. I don't think I've heard something as like as intense as that. Like, and well put and like well said. Like you just, yeah. it's how did people respond to that if you told it?
I reckon I've told about 2 people.
Okay.
One being a psychologist, and same thing again.
Same shit.
It's not good.
Yeah. And then the other person you told, was there any good reaction?
No, it's just, oh shit, that's not good. Man, like, I don't blame anyone for not knowing how to respond to that. I don't know how to respond to that.
Yeah.
Like, there's some things you're just like, what has just happened? Like, what has someone just told me? Like, you don't know what to say, you don't know how to respond, but the fact that you listen, that's all that you need in that moment.
Legit. Don't need solutions. And you like, like you sure as hell don't need, like, just to be brushed off.
Yeah.
You just need to be there with them. Like, you're in a vulnerable state and just need someone to listen. I remember back to my, I guess, attempt, if you will. And I was literally right behind me over there on the couch, just like sitting there, like not screaming, but I could fucking hear that same thing, like screaming.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You feel as if like you are like your own enemy and there's something inside of you just need to get out.
Yeah.
It's like, and it bugs me when people, you know, don't understand it and then criticize people who are going through this time. It's like, you don't know what they're actually going through. Like, go through what they fucking went through in that night and then you have an idea, you know? I guess that leads me to like social media has that influenced how you, I guess, can be vulnerable with yourself, but also has it done anything negative? Because I know that there can be a bit of a toxic culture online. People can just kind of just say whatever, and that can
no consequence.
Yeah, that can stick with you. So like, how has that been as an influence?
Yeah. So the one thing that gets me every single year, Are You Okay Day? Yeah. The days leading up to it, so many people posting it, like on their stories, like making posts about it, sharing things. Like, fuck you. You are the cause of this. Like, how can you be like preaching this when you are literally like the reason behind so many people feeling this way? And like, I look back at so many people I went to school with, like, who share it, who say things like that. Like, there's times like you rip me to shreds. Like, you know, I remember when I had my big afro back in.
You had an afro?
Yeah, number 15s. Put a post in the description.
Yeah. Fuck, wouldn't mind seeing that. Yeah.
And the thing that was like year 9 or year 10, and people would just like make fun of me non-stop. Like, they like try and like pull it, cut it, like throw things into it. Like, man, all the like jokes and stuff, and like pretty much became a meme. I was like, just trying to be myself. Yeah. And like all the stuff that happened like throughout that time, and then as well, like literally just on school oval, like we used to play footy and stuff. And like people would just come up, like we'd play tackle footy before school because it's fun. Yeah. Not worth it because there's no teachers. Oh. But then people would come up, and I don't get how, like, I could be reading too much into this, but every time I get tackled, someone will come up and like kick me in the ribs or hit me in the ribs. And man, that shit hurts. Yeah. And it somehow it happened to no one else. Yeah. But it always would happen to me, so fuckwits. Yeah. Jeez. That's so I'm sorry if it feels like I'm like speechless a lot of these things. No. It's just it's crazy to hear some of this, just because like I've known you for a couple of years, and like obviously you shouldn't feel like you like need to tell me everything or tell anyone everything. Like, yeah, I overshare, trust me. This is what I do, right? It's just, wow, like it's a lot. But then again, it's not like all I need to do and all anyone needs to do in this situation when you're talking to them is just to
just to listen. And you're doing a great job of like just laying it out there.
Start my podcast.
Get John. Start your own one. Benny's bitching. Nah.
What do you want to call it?
I don't know, dude. Like you're doing just you're like the way you're speaking about it, like I can tell it's hard to talk about. And you're more open about it now, like you said, but like you're doing a good job of just fucking staying with it and being really honest, like really, really honest. You're not, there was something in a book where it was like, it was a book about trauma, and basically like the reason we suffer is because of the lies we tell ourselves. And the fact that you're coming on here and you're being honest and you're just laying everything out there and you're speaking to things that happened when you were younger, like that's like the first step. If there's any like steps to this thing, that's a huge step towards stability and towards wellness. Like you're taking a huge fucking, so clap. Seriously, like I can't stress it enough how like scary it is when you have something that you feel like you're gonna be judged for. And like, because what was your general thoughts before even coming to this? Like, what was nervous?
Like, everyone's gonna know everything that I'm gonna say. Like, everyone has access to what I'm gonna say.
Right.
But then it's like you can not care what people think. You can tell yourself that as much as you want, but there's always gonna be something personal or like something you're like, oh, how are people gonna react if I say this?
Yeah.
But yeah, like as soon as you get into it, like you're fine. Like you just gotta remember that like everyone has their own story, and sharing it's gonna help more people than you know. Like as more you spread awareness about things, the more open you are, the more people can relate, the more people you can help. Like even if it's just like, oh, I might have thought this once as well. Like I might actually need to go talk to someone, go see someone. Like, even just talk to a mate, like just the thought of being able to like tell a story and just help as many people as you can.
That's the way to go. What could, like, I guess moving forward, like what would you say is one thing that you really just want to focus on moving forward, knowing what you've been through and knowing what's been able to work? It's a scary road to go down, life, but like what's something you feel like you just can focus on moving forward?
I know it's a bit cliche, but focus on yourself. Stop doing things for everyone else. Start doing things that make you happy, that make you feel better. Good.
And those things being like going to gym and playing AFL, like what's some other things that you feel like you just genuinely want to do because it's for you?
Watch TikTok. Nah.
That's cool.
Read a book for the first time in 2 years the other week, so I actually quite enjoyed it. Just like little things like that, going for a walk or like motorbike rides. Absolutely frothing them. Me and Dad go pretty much once a week, go for a nice 3-hour ride.
Hell yeah.
Just clears your mind like nothing else.
Right, I learn more about you every time we talk. It's interesting. That's incredible. That's good. The more you'll be able to be authentic with yourself and just do what you want, man, like you're just gonna be like, you're gonna soar. You're gonna be like, you're gonna be really like, you're gonna realize how kind to yourself you are when you're just doing things that you want to do. And I imagine like not doing uni and focusing on something else, that was a good decision for you as well. Like that felt the right decision for you.
Because everyone's always like, you go uni, go get a degree, go have something behind you.
It's some bullshit.
You
don't have to.
couldn't stand school, couldn't stand me in classroom, so why would uni be any different?
Exactly.
Just less accountability. Not for me.
Good. That's good. And that's good you know that. And I guess like last thing I'm curious about, what is something you can give as a piece of advice for anyone else in a similar situation, particularly when you were in high school, because that was very different. Well, that was different to where you are now, but what's some advice you can give to people in a similar state and just trying to figure out this whole thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Ben Crow who said it. You gotta control the controllables. Like if something's out of your control, you can't let it affect you. Like if someone's, saying something about you, or like, or doing something, like as much as you can tell them to stop and all that, or take further action, like you can't let it yourself think that you're causing it. Like unless you're obviously going up and annoying the shit out of them, then they're gonna retaliate. But if you're just going about your business, doing yourself, like doing something that makes you happy, you can't let what everyone else thinks, says, does, interfere with that, sorry.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. You'll kill yourself if you'll run yourself to the fucking ground if you're trying to be responsible for everything or trying to control everything.
Yeah, you can't please everyone.
Yeah.
As soon as you realise that, just please yourself first.
Good. Hell yeah. Dude, I cannot stress enough, I'm taken aback. Because you've just spoken so well, and you've been so brave in just speaking on this. I can tell it's difficult, it's uncomfortable, but I can not fucking stress enough how good Jake has been. I haven't even said that on Path to Peace before. You've done a great job of
being there for Path to Peace.
Yeah. I'll get some awards, go on Coach's Award, all that shit. But dude, seriously, you've done an amazing job. I'm proud of you as a mate, and anyone watching who knows you should be proud of you for coming on here and just the way you've talked about this. And I can just tell you're on the right path. You're on the path to something better. You're on the path to
peace.
Path to peace. Yes. I wasn't gonna say it, but yeah. It's been fucking bars, baby. I'm proud of you, dude. You've done an amazing job. And nah.
I wish my dad said that. That's a story for another time.
That's episode 2. Yeah. But thank you again for coming on, dude. And I hope you all found something good from this. I hope you can take some of the advice that Jake's put forth, if you're in a similar situation. And I hope you can understand that it can seem difficult to go on this, but you can say, I guess you feel a bit better by just getting it out there. And yeah,
just want to take the time to say thanks for having me, thanks for listening. And Dan Gorringe, famous quote, it's big ships, there's little ships, but nothing beats a good friendship.
Oh my fucking god, that's fucking hard. That's so good. I had no idea where that was going. I thought you were gonna take a different route there, but that's cool. No, that's great.
Here's the love, here's the honour.
Here's the love, here's the honour.
Come on. Let's cut it before.
That's good. That's great. I love that. Dude, fucking thank you very much. You've done a great job. And hope you all have a good day.